Some of the most dangerous foods for people with diabetes aren't the ones coated in sugar. They're the ones that sneak into your routine, stay under the radar, and slowly break down your blood sugar control without you even noticing. It's not always about sweets, it's often about habits. And when something feels familiar and tasty, we tend to let our guard down. But could one of your favorite comfort foods be causing more damage than a slice of cake? Nutritionists and endocrinologists are sounding the alarm about a food that's present in nearly every American household. It's salty, flavorful, and found in sandwiches, breakfast plates, and even diabetic-friendly meal plans. But don't let the portion size fool you. This food doesn't just raise blood sugar, it inflames your entire system, making your insulin less effective. The worst part? It's usually marketed as a protein source for those looking to eat better. And speaking of better habits, if this kind of information is helping you take smarter steps for your health, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. If you're already part of our family here, thank you for your support. You're the reason we keep bringing valuable content like this to light. And believe me, what you're about to learn could make a big difference in your next meal choice. So what is it? Processed meats, like ham, bacon, sausages, and deli slices, are on the list of the riskiest foods for diabetics, especially for seniors. According to a study published in Diabetologia, just 50 grams of processed meat per day increases the risk of type 2 diabetes by 19%. For those already living with diabetes, these meats don't just worsen insulin resistance, they also raise inflammatory markers and contribute to fat buildup around the liver and pancreas. What makes these meats so dangerous isn't just the fat or sodium, it's the way they're made. Nitrates, nitrites, preservatives, and artificial flavorings interfere with how your body regulates glucose. Researchers from the Harvard School of Public Health have repeatedly shown that people who regularly consume processed meats have higher fasting blood glucose levels, even when they're eating low carb. Surprised? Let's talk about this together. Have you been eating these meats thinking they were a better option than bread or rice? Drop the phrase "no one warned me" in the comments if you feel like you've been misled by food labels or health trends. And if you have any doubts about the foods in your routine, ask us in the comments. This is a safe space to share and learn. We help each other here. Your next breakfast could be a turning point. That slice of ham or sausage might feel small, but it could be interfering with your medication, spiking your sugar and exhausting your pancreas. Are you willing to swap it for something that actually supports your health, or will you keep taking the risk? The decision is yours, but now at least, you're informed. Now you can join our channel's exclusive group. As a super member, you get priority responses. I'm notified and reply to you first, but if I were you, I'd go further. As a loyal member, you also get early access to videos before anyone else. Stay one step ahead and enjoy exclusive content firsthand. Don't miss out. Click now and become a member. Let's talk about a hidden chain reaction that's quietly sabotaging millions of people with diabetes, especially seniors. You might think your sugar is under control just because you're avoiding sweets. But what if I told you there's a type of food that doesn't taste sweet at all, yet causes chronic spikes and keeps your body in a constant state of inflammation? It doesn't just affect your glucose, it weakens your immune system, fogs your thinking, and even messes with your sleep. When your body is inflamed, it doesn't respond to insulin the way it should. That's when sugar lingers in your blood for too long, damaging your nerves and blood vessels. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that inflammatory markers like CRP, C-reactive protein, are significantly higher in people who consume certain types of meats regularly. Not only that, they also had more difficulty stabilizing their A1C, even with medication. And guess what's at the center of this inflammatory storm? Processed meats. Yes, bacon, hot dogs, sausages, and cold cuts might feel satisfying and quick, but they're working against your body every single day. According to a British Medical Journal review, people who ate the most processed meats had up to a 37% higher risk of developing metabolic syndrome, an inflammatory condition that worsens diabetes outcomes drastically. Here's where things get serious. These meats contain advanced glycation end products, AGEs, chemicals that form during processing and cooking. AGEs not only increase oxidative stress, but they also make your cells more insulin resistant. That's like asking your body to lower sugar levels while tying one arm behind its back. Scary, right? And it doesn't stop there. Nitrates used for preservation can also harm the gut microbiome, which is crucial for glucose balance. Thanks for sticking with me so far. It shows that you're taking your health seriously, and I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment using the word inflamed. If you've ever felt like something wasn't right after eating certain meats, even if your sugar looked okay on paper. We read every comment, and if you have questions or want help with your food choices, ask away. This is a space where we learn and grow together. You may be wondering, well, what can I eat instead? Great question, and we'll get there. But first, it's important to pause and reflect. How often are these meats part of your weekly routine? Is it once a week or more like once a day? Small changes, like reducing processed meats even by half, have been shown to lower inflammation markers within just 30 days. That's powerful. And it's something you can start doing today. So is your plate helping you heal or keeping you inflamed? That's the real question. Processed meats don't just carry risks. They create a hostile internal environment that makes managing diabetes far more difficult than it needs to be. Choosing differently can be an act of self-respect, not restriction. And that shift might just change everything. Did you know that many dishes that seem healthy for diabetics can actually be dangerous? Discover the recipes that really work. Stop feeling limited or insecure in the kitchen. My book brings together delicious and easy recipes, specially created to keep your blood sugar under control and add more flavor to your life. I've already helped thousands of diabetics eat better, feel happier, and achieve a lighter life with my book. Every recipe has been tested and approved by those who understand the needs of people living with diabetes. Click the link in the first comment of this video now and get immediate access to the book that will transform your meals today. There's a common belief that protein-rich foods automatically support a diabetic lifestyle, but not all proteins are created equal, and some come with dangerous side effects that go beyond blood sugar. One of the most overlooked risks tied to processed meats is their effect on blood pressure and how that can silently worsen diabetes management over time. Think of it this way: your heart and your pancreas are on the same team. When one struggles, the other pays the price. Processed meats are packed with sodium, sometimes over 100-200 milligrams in a single serving. That's nearly an entire day's worth of salt in just 2 slices of ham. According to the American Heart Association, excessive sodium leads to stiffened blood vessels, reduced blood flow, and higher blood pressure, especially in people over 60. For diabetics, this creates a dangerous combo: elevated sugar and elevated pressure at the same time, which dramatically increases the risk of heart attack and stroke. Think about your last few meals. Were any of them easy options, like microwavable sausage patties, deli turkey, or canned meats? These ultra-processed choices aren't just hurting your metabolism, they're putting a silent strain on your cardiovascular system. And if you're taking medication for both diabetes and hypertension, the burden on your kidneys becomes even heavier. It's like adding fuel to a fire you can't see. Let me ask you something directly. Have you ever felt bloated or had headaches after eating something salty but didn't think much of it? That might have been your body trying to warn you. And if this information is helping you connect the dots, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't yet. Already with us? Thank you for being part of this supportive community. It means more than you think. Research from the National Institute of Health showed that diabetics who regularly consumed processed meats had not only worse glucose levels, but also higher systolic blood pressure, even when they were taking antihypertensive medications. In other words, their food was directly sabotaging their treatment. That's powerful, and it should make anyone think twice before adding bacon to their breakfast plate. Let's interact a bit. Drop the word pressure in the comments if you've ever noticed a link between certain foods and your blood pressure. And feel free to ask your questions or share your experience. We're all learning together. This channel isn't just about listening, it's about building a real network of support where your voice matters. Sometimes your comment is the exact insight someone else needs to hear. If you're managing both diabetes and blood pressure, reducing processed meats isn't a suggestion, it's a strategy. And it can start with one swap at a time. Try grilled chicken instead of sausage, or tuna instead of deli ham. Your heart, your brain, and your blood sugar will thank you. When we talk about diabetes, we often focus on blood sugar and insulin, but there's another system in your body that plays a crucial role in keeping everything stable: your gut microbiome. That's right, the trillions of bacteria living in your intestines help regulate not only digestion but also inflammation, mood, immunity, and yes, glucose levels. But what if the food you're eating every day is slowly wiping out that delicate balance? Scientists have now discovered that processed meats significantly alter gut bacteria in a harmful way. In a study from Nature Reviews Endocrinology, participants who consumed these meats daily showed a decrease in beneficial bacteria like lactobacillus and bifidobacterium, the same microbes that help regulate glucose absorption. Meanwhile, inflammatory bacteria increased, creating a gut environment that made insulin resistance worse. You might be wondering, how can meat affect my gut bacteria? It comes down to additives, nitrates, emulsifiers, preservatives, and artificial smoke flavoring. These chemicals don't just preserve the meat, they irritate the gut lining. Over time, this can lead to a condition called leaky gut, where toxins and undigested food particles enter the bloodstream. That triggers widespread inflammation and makes your blood sugar harder to control, even if you're eating low-carb elsewhere. Have you ever had unexplained bloating, fatigue, or skin issues that just wouldn't go away? Believe it or not, those could be gut-related symptoms caused by what's on your plate. And if this is starting to connect with your own experience, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. It helps bring this life-saving information to more people. If you're already subscribed, thank you for supporting our mission to make health clear and real. And let's pause for a moment. Do you think your gut health might be holding you back from better glucose control? Drop the word balance in the comments if you're starting to think your sugar spikes might not be just about carbs. Let's turn this section into a mini support group. You can also ask your questions down there. This channel is a real community, and we learn faster when we share what's happening in real life. If gut health is the missing piece of the puzzle, what can we do? Reducing processed meats is one of the first steps. Instead of cold cuts, try fermented foods like unsweetened yogurt, kefir, or kimchi to replenish good bacteria. Studies show that within just 2 weeks of dietary changes, the gut microbiome can start recovering. That's fast, and the benefits are long-lasting. So what's your gut telling you? Maybe it's time to listen. If you've been focused only on carbs and insulin, this is your reminder that diabetes management is more than numbers. It's also about what's happening deep inside your digestive system. Healing your gut might just be the smartest blood sugar decision you ever make. There's a reason why some doctors don't just warn diabetics about sugar, but also about what they call metabolic toxins. And one of the most studied and feared sources of those toxins is processed meat. Yes, the same ham, salami, and hot dogs that seem so innocent in small portions are now being strongly linked to something far more serious: cancer. And for people with diabetes, the risk is even higher. Why? Because diabetes already increases the chances of chronic inflammation and oxidative stress, which are key contributors to cancer development. When you add carcinogenic compounds like nitrosamines, found in processed meats, you're stacking risk on top of risk. According to the World Health Organization, processed meats are officially classified as Group 1 carcinogens, in the same category as smoking. Let that sink in. One long-term study by the International Agency for Research on Cancer found that people who ate processed meats daily had a 17% higher risk of colorectal cancer. But for diabetics, that number climbs even faster due to weakened immune surveillance and higher insulin levels. This combination can accelerate tumor growth. And yet, despite these facts, processed meats are still marketed as convenient, lean options in many diet plans. If you've read this far, it means you're taking your health seriously, and I appreciate that. While this may be hard to hear, it's important to know the truth so you can make empowered choices. And if this information matters to you, leave a like and consider subscribing. Already part of the channel? Then you already know. We're not here to scare, we're here to protect. And this next part is just as important. Let's interact. Have you ever heard about the cancer risk tied to these meats before today? Drop the word protected in the comments if you feel this kind of information opened your eyes. And if you have a family history of cancer or diabetes, let us know what you're doing to stay on track. This isn't just a channel. It's a space where real people help each other. And if you're wondering whether cutting back actually makes a difference, the answer is yes. Studies show that people who reduce their intake of processed meats by just 30% significantly lower their cancer risk within 6 to 12 months. That's not magic, it's biology. And the earlier you start, the better your body can repair and defend itself. Cancer doesn't develop overnight. It's the result of long-term exposure to small threats. And when you combine diabetes with inflammatory foods like processed meat, you give cancer the perfect environment to grow, but you also have the power to break that cycle. It starts with awareness and continues with every choice you make at the table. Sleep is one of the most underrated weapons in the fight against diabetes. It's during rest that your body repairs, resets hormone levels, and restores insulin sensitivity. But what if something you eat during the day is quietly robbing you of that healing time at night. Many people don't realize that processed meats can directly interfere with sleep patterns, and it's not about the food being heavy. It's about chemistry. These meats are packed with preservatives and additives that stimulate the nervous system. Substances like monosodium glutamate, MSG, and nitrates can trigger restlessness, raise cortisol levels, and increase nighttime blood pressure, making it harder to fall asleep and stay asleep. According to a study in Nutrients Journal, diabetic patients who consumed processed meats at dinner reported more sleep disturbances and higher fasting glucose the next morning. Lack of sleep doesn't just make you tired, it directly affects how your body uses insulin. Even one night of poor sleep can lead to temporary insulin resistance, meaning your blood sugar can remain elevated for hours longer than normal. And when this becomes a pattern, it turns into a vicious cycle. Bad food leads to poor sleep, which worsens blood sugar, which then affects mood and cravings. Sound familiar? Let me ask you something. Have you ever woken up feeling drained even after a full night in bed? Or felt like your sugar levels were off the morning after a salty or processed dinner? If this rings true, hit that like button and subscribe for more content that gets to the root of what's really happening. And to all our long-time subscribers, thank you for being here and sharing your voice. You make this channel a place of real transformation. Drop the word rest in the comments if sleep has been a struggle in your diabetes journey. And please don't hesitate to ask for help or share your experience. Sometimes just one comment helps someone else feel understood. This space was built for connection, not judgment. We're stronger when we speak up and support each other. The good news? Your sleep can improve fast. Nutritionists say that within 72 hours of removing processed meats from the evening meal, many patients report deeper sleep and better morning glucose readings. Just 3 nights. That's the power food has, not just over your body, but over your rest, focus, and quality of life. Your plate influences more than your blood sugar. It controls your energy, your mood, your healing. If a single change in dinner can help you sleep better, manage sugar and protect your organs, why not try? What's really standing in the way? Because sometimes the biggest transformation starts with the quietest shift. And hey, if this caught your attention, don't stop here. I'm leaving a video right here on the screen that dives into something most diabetics get completely wrong when it comes to food, and it could be the missing link between unstable sugar and lasting control. Seriously, it's one of those tips that almost no one talks about, but it changes everything once you learn it. If you care about your health, and I know you do, click on it now and don't miss out. It could be the most important decision you make for your blood sugar this week. See you there.